This is a keratin treatment, and today we're going to talk about frizz, keratin treatments, high porosity hair, lightened hair, and colored hair, and most importantly, frizz. So make sure you get your notebooks out and stick around to the end of this video.
So really quick, let's talk about why hair gets frizzy in the first place, because most of the time when your hair is frizzy, you just want to go and put an oil on it, but don't do that. Like, figure out why it's frizzy in the first place. I'll tell you real quick. Frizz occurs when the hair shaft gains or loses electrons. This creates the imbalance in their charge. This charge imbalance is a result. This electric charge imbalance results in a negative and positive imbalanced charge with the hair strands, making them repel each other. This repulsion between each individual strand is what is giving you the appearance of frizzy hair. This is due to the hair shafts, to all of the individual hair shafts standing apart due to their negative charges. In short, the movement and the imbalance of electrons within the hair shaft is what causes frizzy hair. So how do you get rid of it? When the hair shaft becomes charged with static electricity, it's because the hair shaft is gaining or losing electrons. This charge creates an electric field around your hair shaft. Like, you really electric, like for real. The uneven distribution of electrons causes the hair to go all crazy and just stand up on its own, doing whatever the hell it want to do. Now, hair serums often include ingredients like silicones and oils. These substances, silicones and oils, contain or provide a thin layer over the hair shaft. This coating helps to neutralize the negative and positive charge, making a barrier between each hair strand. So the electric charge is no longer traveling from hair shaft to hair shaft and standing everything up. Everything can relax. Not only that, a smoother surface is going to help the hair glide along each other, so it's not getting stuck, not causing friction, not causing breakage. So you're able to retain length more because you're not getting mechanical damage and breakage from rubbing on your clothes or brushing and combing. The serum helps with that immensely. Oil does too, but oil is heavier. It's a heavier molecular weight, whereas a serum has a very, very smaller molecular weight, whereas it's not going to weigh the hair shaft down in any way, shape, or form. Serums are your #1 weapon at decreasing frizz and any type of static or electric charge within the hair. You can add oils and butters, but again, they have a heavier molecular weight, and oils and butters do really feed your scalp's microbiome and all of the different forms of yeast and bacteria that live on the scalp. So there are pros and cons of both, but do what you want to do. In the videos linked in the description box below, I talk a little bit more about oils versus serums, silk proteins versus silk amino acids versus hydrolyzed silk proteins and stuff like that. So you can watch that video and take your pick of the favorites. But if we're talking about staticky hair and friction, that is where it's coming from, and serums are the way that you get rid of it.
So we will tackle the frizz at the end of this video, so make sure you stick around so you can see the way things go down with frizz. But the first thing that I am doing is detangling her hair. There is a little bit of OLAPLEX 7 on my fingers as I am combing through her hair and detangling. I detangle on dry hair, not wet hair. Now, this is Breezy, my boo, okay? I have been knowing Brianna since she was about 12 years old. She was in my wedding. I've been married for 16 years, so I've known her for a minute, and even this video itself is about 4 years old. Her hair is even longer than this. Now, I am not like, oh, I hate keratin treatments or anything like that. I don't have an emotional connection with any chemical, any product, or anything. I am about the science of hair, and this beauty here has high porosity hair. I know her hair very well, okay? She has high porosity hair, and she wears color in her hair, and she gets highlights, right? At this point, I was no longer behind the chair, so she went to another colorist that is amazing, and because she has naturally high porosity hair, she also received hair color, and with her getting highlights and lowlights, you are opening the cuticle. If you want to know more about that, make sure you check the video in the description box below where I break that down. But because she does have color treated hair, and we do live in the desert, right? We are in Las Vegas, Nevada. There is almost no moisture in the air whatsoever, right? So when she received her keratin treatment, it is not because keratin is just so good for the hair. No, keratin protects the hair shaft, right? And when I say protects the hair shaft, I mean it puts a coating on top of the hair shaft. So somebody who has high porosity hair and has color treated hair, that is when keratin treatments are recommended. And this is when keratin treatments wear off over time. You know why? She's going in for a retouch, and anytime she gets additional chemicals added to the hair, the keratin weighs down a little more, so the keratin eventually washes out. And I want you to also remember that she does not go months without washing her hair. She's washing her hair a couple of times a week. So when they say, okay, you get a keratin treatment and a keratin treatment is gonna wash out and stuff, this is washing out from somebody who is washing their hair multiple times a week almost, right? Also, keratin treatments are amazing for people who swim. And if you swim all the time, right, the chlorine within the water is made of the same exact amino acids, the same exact chemicals that go into making the lightener. And they do the same thing. I should say they do the same thing as it pertains to opening the cuticle and opening the cortex. This is why if you get your hair lightened and then you go get in the swimming pool with chlorine, it's going to turn green, because the chlorine opens the cuticle, opens the cortex of the hair shaft, and it puts the chlorine inside of the hair. That's why blonde hair turns green in a swimming pool. But if you are a swimmer, most professional swimmers have keratin treatments, because the chlorine is eating away at that keratin every time they get in it, and then they're shampooing their hair every single time they get out of the water. So keratin treatments do not perform on naturally curly hair that's only washed every 2 weeks or every 3 weeks or once a month. It doesn't perform the same way on that type of hair as it does on somebody who's washing their hair a couple of times a week. It's a difference. Moreover, keratin treatments are never used on low porosity hair. When I made the video about keratin treatments, y'all, get your boxes and your panties out of a bunch. I'm not saying, oh, I just hate keratin treatments. No, I'm saying that if you have low porosity hair, you do not use a keratin treatment. The purpose of a keratin treatment is to put a layer of coating and shut and protect the hair's cuticle. Low porosity hair already has a super tight cuticle. So all you're going to do by getting a keratin treatment with low porosity hair is forcing the cuticle to close even tighter, which eventually will cause breakage. Every time I make a video about keratin, there are some people who are like, I love my keratin treatments. You are the high porosity girls. Of course you love it. It doesn't have an effect on you, but it is a low porosity hair that shouldn't use it. And the issue is everybody is so money hungry that when you come into the shop, instead of them giving you a consultation and saying, hey, let's do a porosity test first to see if you're a candidate, they let everybody get a keratin treatment. Because if I say low porosity girls can't get it, that means that all of the low porosity girls are walking out. They're walking out and they're not giving me the money. So these are things I need you to think about. At this point, she already has OLAPLEX 1. That's what I was putting on her hair. I was putting OLAPLEX 1 all over her hair, and it's mixed with a certain percentage, right? When you know how to use OLAPLEX, you know how to use 1 properly. And her hair set for about 25 minutes. I processed for about 25 minutes, and now we are going to circle back and go ahead and follow up with OLAPLEX number 2. Now, if you are not a professional, or if you don't feel comfortable using OLAPLEX 1 and OLAPLEX number 2, which is the professional grade, you can go ahead and use OLAPLEX 0 and is that 0 and 0 and 2? Yeah, I'm sorry, 0 and 3. my brain. So you can use zero, Olaplex 0, and Olaplex number 3, right? If you're using it at home. And then, of course, in the salon, we're using Olaplex 1 and Olaplex number 2. I'm sorry, I just had a brain fart. All right. So now her Olaplex treatment is coming to a small close. But again, this is me applying the 2. I'm applying the 2 to all of her hair, and then it is going to sit for an additional 15 minutes, if I'm not mistaken. After that, we will start the round brushing process. Now, what this is doing is reinforcing her bonds. This is fortifying her hair shaft. Her hair was not damaged in any way, shape, or form, right? Now, at this point, we are getting ready to blow dry her hair. And all I will be using is leave-in conditioner from Kemra. And I think you can see me spray it on. I'm not sure. But right after that, I am using Olaplex number 6. Now, you guys are going, I don't know if I'm going to display it to you. We watching this together at the same time. But I am using a very, very small amount for her entire head. I'm using about a nickel size amount for her entire head, emulsifying it in my hands. And now I am just spreading the product all through her hair, avoiding her scalp, really going a little bit above mid shaft to ends, right? And then I am going to begin the round brushing process. If you're new to my channel, it's okay. The video is going to be here forever. One thing that I want you to notice, right? I round brush, blow dry, flat iron the same way on every texture, on every race, every skin color, every texture, everything. I'm round brushing exactly the same. I'm clipping the same. My products are the same. The only times my products are changing is based on the porosity of my client, basically my client's scalp profile. So their porosity, their sebum level, their skin cell turnover cycle, things like that. That is when the products are going to be different. But other than that, it all works the same. And as you can see, the key to weightless hair and the key to a perfect silk press is a bomb blowout, right? So remember what we talked about earlier when we were talking about frizz and electrons, the positive and negative ones. Look at how smooth her hair shaft is. Normally with her high porosity hair, she does have a lot of frizz. And when you have high porosity hair plus hair color, naturally the cuticles raise a little bit more than they're supposed to, and you get more of that electrical charge within the hair shaft. But Olaplex 6 as a smoothing treatment is something that really, really helps through the blow drying process. I really want everybody to pay attention to labels, and this is something that I said in the voiceover of this video originally, where it is every product that just looks like, oh, this looks like a cream, or this looks like that other product. That doesn't mean that that's how you use it. I want you to pay attention. Olaplex number 6 says that it is a smoother. So when do you use something that smooths? You use it when you're doing processes that are causing you to smooth the cuticle. This is how Olaplex 6 is normally used, as a smoothing agent when you are round brushing the hair. I want you to think about it like she just happens to have a curlier, thicker texture. Our dads were best friends and our moms are really good friends. Her mom is Nicole. This is just telling you like her texture, right? Her mom is a white woman. Hello, Nicole, I love you. And her father is a black man, Paul. So she's very young, so her hair is, her texture is a little different from some of the textures you've seen thus far on my channel. But as you can see, that means absolutely nothing, because I am brown brushing her hair the exact same way. I'm holding my blow dryer the exact same way. We're using the exact same products. The things that are going to be different are the amounts of products that you're using. But I want you to imagine, right? Somebody who has naturally straight hair, right? Somebody who doesn't have curly hair, because Brianna has naturally curly hair. Somebody who doesn't have naturally curly hair that uses Olaplex 6 can smooth their hair, and this is the equivalent to a woman like me, a black woman, getting a blow dry and a silk press. Somebody with naturally straight hair can use Olaplex 6 as a smoother, as they're blow drying their hair with the round brush the exact same way that I'm doing it right now, and that is the equivalent to a woman with naturally curly hair giving herself a blowout and a flat iron. But when you have curly hair, you just need one extra step. It's not a big deal. You just need one extra step, right? I'm telling you, you find somebody who tells you that round brushes are bad and round brushes are damaging to hair, my baby, you have found somebody who does not know how to use a round brush. And this is the thing. We need to learn how to pull from each other, right? All different cultures, all different races are so beautiful, and we all have so many different things to share with each other. I remember one of my favorite parts about working at studio salons was just the diversity of the different types of hairstylists that I worked around. I worked around hairstylists and cosmetologists, of every freaking race and ethnic background, and we taught each other so many different things. I can say, well, I won't even go there, but most women from other races are like excited to teach you things, and they're excited to learn things from you. I had a couple of different women, that I used to work with, and sometimes when we had downtime or extra time, they would teach me how to do round brushing, how to perfect my round brushing, and I would teach them how to perfect braiding, or I would teach them how to perfect like really getting closer to the root, straightening hair, because they used to be so scared to get the flat iron that close to the root to get it straight, or to like straighten edges, showing them how to do the chase method. Okay, there's some white girls here in Vegas that can do the heck out of some silk presses. Why? Because as she was like helping me perfect my round brushing technique, I helped her perfect her silk presses. Okay, so those are things that I really want everybody to think about. It doesn't have to be like, oh, these brushes are only for black women, and these brushes are for white girls, and these brushes are for Hispanic women. Hair care does not work like that. On YouTube and in the social media world, it wants to paint that picture for you because you make more money when you isolate people in groups. The more isolated you are in a group, the easier it is for me to target you. It's easier for you to, this is some marketing 101. It's easiest for you to target people and target groups for sales when you can break them down into different compartments, right? It's just like with an email list. You got a part of your email list for people who are only there for herbs. You only sending them herbal emails. You got some people that are only there for hair products. You're only sending them stuff about hair products and things of that nature. So that's something that I really want most black women to think about. You have been put in compartments. There's no such thing as hair products for black women. And I really want us to ask ourselves this question: why do we so desperately want products that say on them, these are for black women? If we want to be included, if we want to be treated like everybody else, why are we constantly separating ourselves? Because personally, as a professional, I don't use any like Team Natural products. I don't shop for hair products, and I'm not knocking anybody or being disrespectful, but as a professional, I don't shop at CVS, Walgreens, Sally's. No, I'm at Cosmoprof. So I don't do any Team Natural products because none of y'all Team Natural products are in Cosmoprof at all. They're in Sally's. And I need y'all to remember, Sally's and Cosmoprof is the same company. Just like Sam's Club and Walmart is owned by the same people, it's the same thing. Cosmoprof is the pro version of Sally's, right? You can't come in Cosmoprof unless you have a cosmetology license, but anybody can go in Sally's. It's the same company, right? And these are the things that I really want everybody to remember. This is the hot spray, the heat protector that I'm using. Y'all, you can go back to the first video on my channel. I have been using the same products. It's not because I don't want to try new things, but unless something's broke, I'm not about to try to fix it. I'm not going to go and like buy a new product every time it comes out. That's one of the main reasons I'm not bringing Silk Fusion Therapy back, because there's so many great products out here and you don't need it. You really don't. And if I was to bring it back at this present time before anybody learns anything, it just doesn't serve a purpose for me at this present time, right? So again, what we're doing is flat ironing her hair. Her hair right now is her hair right now. I remember I didn't go past like 375, 380 with flat ironing her hair because it's really just a silkening out. And then after we flat iron, I'm just going to give her a small minor trim. But I've put pictures of my boo here on the screen so you can see how long her hair has gotten over the years. We have so many other pictures, but for now we're sticking to this one, these that you've seen pop up randomly on the screen, right? Make sure you keep watching the video all the way through. I don't know where I'm going to put the pictures, they'll just randomly pop up. And at this point you can clearly see, like, we're not fighting with her hair. I'm not spraying a whole bunch of products on her hair. A silk press is not a silk press, or it doesn't look good because of products that you use. It doesn't. A silk press is going to look best by being weightless hair. The least amount of product, right? The more product you add, the more weight the hair is going to have. And the more weight the hair has, the less it moves, right? That's why your hair will be like real bouncy at first, but then the more time goes by, it gets more stringy and limp. That is because you have oil coming out of the follicle and it's weighing the hair down, right? Which isn't a bad thing. It just means that your hair needs to be shampooed more often. The oilier your hair gets, the more of that natural parasite you have on your head. So if you want to know more about the natural parasite that lives on everybody's scalp, then make sure you check the video link in the description box below, and don't eat while you're watching it because it'll be kind of gross, right? So now again, as we are going through her hair, I want you guys to be really observant of the size of the sections that I'm taking. I'm not taking really big chunks. We're taking really small and skinny pieces, and I am taking my time and pulling the flat iron down her hair shaft as I add a little bit of pressure on the plates at certain points, right? So that's pretty much it, but there's no like secret way to do it. I remember seeing this video and somebody was like, oh, you gotta get the chase method together, that's the secret. It's like, once again, the chase method, that's something, anything that has method behind it, it's something YouTube made up. Like, cosmetologists, we've just always done that. We didn't call it the chase method. That's just the way that we do it sometimes. And when I'm doing this, I'm not necessarily doing the chase method, right? That's not what I'm doing. I'm holding the hair in place with the comb. That's what I'm doing. I'm not trying to chase it down because my goal is not to separate her hair and make sure that it's super duper straight, because her hair is already bone straight with the blow dryer. So I don't need to do that. I'm holding her hair in place and guiding my flat iron down, making sure I don't miss anything is what I'm doing, right? I won't speak for anybody else. I know a couple of other people are moving it down so it's separated, so it gets straighter and stuff like that, but that's not my reasoning behind it, right? But again, this is my favorite flat iron. I know on some of the newer videos where I'm doing my hair, you see a pink one, but that's just because I can't find the box that got my flat irons in it. Since we moved here, and we about to move out in a minute, and I can't find that box. I think it's downstairs. But anyway, this is my favorite flat iron. So if you want any of the products and tools that I use in this video, then make sure you check the link in the description box below. Thus far, she does not have any product on her hair, any like shine products or anything. The only thing that's on her hair is leave-in conditioner, OLAPLEX 6, and heat spray, which is a heat protectant, right? If you guys want to know the difference between heat protectants, you know, oil-based, alcohol-based, cream heat protectant, leave-in conditioner versus liquid, like all in the description box below, right? All in the description box below. But this is how it's working out. Brianna never has damaged hair. ever. Her mom, Nicole, always made sure she took excellent care of her hair. Always, always. Like all the time I know Brianna, I never saw her having one dusty day ever. Ever, right? Her or her mom, as it pertains to their hair and stuff like that. You know, we had personal relationships, so we saw each other dusty. When we was spending the night, it's like, okay, we washed up, but that's it. You know, I seen her that type of dusty, but not the other kind, right? So at this point, you know, yes, she does have a keratin treatment, right? That her colorist ended up giving her after they colored her hair this last time, which again is something that's recommended anytime you get highlights and lowlights, anytime you get the cuticle bust open, especially if you already have high porosity hair. Like I talked about at the beginning of the video, it's always a good idea, but it's not a good idea when you have low porosity hair. And a keratin treatment is not a replacement for a relaxer. They do not do the same thing. One puts a coating on the hair shaft, the other one goes into the cortex and removes sulfur to sulfur linkages, disulfide bonds. It's two completely different things. So you need to figure out what your hair's profile is, what your scalp's profile is, all of these different things before you can hop into that. This video is being sponsored by the 7-Day Challenge, so let's read one of our reviews. All right, I washed my hair today and I've been noticing my hair feels thicker by the week. My hair is very happy with weekly heat styling, as not just leaving it in a shocked blowout state. Can't believe I ever let my hair go through that for so long. I think I'm also finally starting to feel the difference of having a full healthy ends that aren't weak from wearing all of those buns. It took me about a couple of months to notice this change, since it took a couple of trims to take away those weak points of my hair that were constantly being stressed by wearing the buns. In the past, I would have had to trim at 6 weeks. I'm at 5 weeks post trim now, and I can tell right now that a trim at 6 weeks is not necessary this go around. So I've comfortably graduated to every 8-week trims. This is big. Whoop. Now, this is the point of the 7-Day Challenge. I am not in the 7-Day Challenge trying to argue with nobody, trying to teach nobody nothing that they do not want to learn, right? We are in there learning the science of the human body and how to work in co-creation with the body, because the way that you guys have been moving has been working in opposition to the way that the body moves. For example, the body produces its own sebum within the sebaceous gland, and you have parasites within your scalp naturally that God put there that eat the sebum and control some of it. But when you interject in that, right, and you're not working in co-creation but against the way God made your body by adding extra oils and extra butters that you don't need because your body's already producing them, what you then do is cause that bacteria that's not supposed to overpopulate to overpopulate. And these are the ways that we run into these problems that end up leading to things that are irreversible. So it's not as simplistic as, oh, I saw this on this video, I'm gonna put it on my hair and see how it works out. No, it doesn't work like that. You need to make sure that you understand your body. You need to make sure that you understand the science of the human body. You need to know your porosity, your skin cell turnover cycle, whether or not you have active sweat glands or not. What is your sebum flow? There are so many different things that you need to know. But once you know them, growing long hair is not a problem, and it's so easy. It's so simplistic. One of the things that we get in the challenge the most is how they cannot believe how much error and how much fear they had around blow drying their hair or picking up a flat iron. And once they do it, it's like, oh my God, my hair is not damaged. My curls are actually more defined this week than they were last week. My curls are more defined now, 3 months after doing this process, than they were before. Not to mention, everybody within the 7-day challenge isn't flat ironing their hair all the time. They have differences. They switch up between heat styling and wet setting. There's so many different options, but remember, there is a tribe for everybody, and this is not the Team Natural tribe. But if you want to break out of that, then head over to the 7-day challenge, baby, because I got you. All right, but this is my boo Breedeezy. This is how her hair came out. I just wanted to go back down memory lane with you guys, and this is how her hair came out, all shiny and stuff. We have part 2 coming up in a discussion, so make sure you leave your comments below, and I'll see you next time in part 2 of keratin. Well, part 3.
Can somebody please tell Brianna that I did not make her hair grow in 5 minutes?
So much longer.
He's gonna leave it. He's gonna.
Oh no. I'll be like, it's fine.
When I first met Brianna, she was like, Dad, can I? Dad, Dad. Oh my God, Dad. Now she's 20. Okay, so in the live earlier, I told y'all, I think she gonna be able to buy liquor this year. She been able to buy liquor for 4 years. Almost 5.
Wow.
I'm not saying she be buying liquor. I'm just saying she been.
Well, look at it.
Well, is everybody not still the same? I think you're the only one in that generation that didn't turn out to be.
I'm so glad.
My hair literally grew because you straightened.
Brianna, your hair did not grow in a couple hours.
For sure. This is like,
You got
what is that?
you got-
Tangled.
you
That
got-
Tangled movie. Yes.
But Bree, that didn't happen today.
No, it did.
No, it didn't.
Today, right now.
I'm so proud. I'm about 14 minutes. My apartment is
I really like my apartment. I'm like, dance.
How cool.
Yeah, because I was like, I still want to be on the 2nd floor and I want high ceilings. I did that. I did scripting. I scripted.
This has nothing to do with her, but I am so proud of the woman that she is today. I just have to be honest and say, back then, a lot of the girls that I was around, or a lot of the younger girls that I knew, they in the thought boxes. They in the sexy red category. But I am so proud of Brianna. Like, I just couldn't be more proud. I'm gonna leave her YouTube channel in the description box below. She makes like really like feel good, like spiritual content. So you guys, make sure you check out her channel, link in the description box below. This is the little baby sister that I never had but knew that I always needed. I love her so much, so proud. Okay, back to the video.
Make sure you check the link in the description box below so you can keep your eye out for all of my favorite serums, so that way you can get your hands on them, right? I love you guys so much, and until my next video, don't be having staticky hair. You could just get you a little bit of serum, put a little bit of drop on your hand, and then shickle boom, shickle bam. Negative and positive electrons are neutralized and they not fighting no more in your hair. Okay, bye. See you later. You got something to say? You gonna say something? Oh, you don't gotta say nothing.